The worst disease known to mankind is known as learned helplessness. In 1965, Martin Seligman did a series of experiments on classical conditioning. He was using dogs. What he would do is he picked a dog and then he introduced a light shock to the dog after ringing the bell. Every time he would ring the bell, he would electrify the dog, but a light electric shock. Eventually the dog identified the bell with a shock. Then he took the game further. He brought a large crate and partitioned it by half using a low-lying fence, so much that the dog could jump the other side of the crate if need be. So he electrified one side of the crate, but he did not put the shock, the electric shock, on the other side of the crate. And then he decided to put the dog on the side that was electrified. He naturally expected the dog, which could see the other side of the small fence, to jump over to safety. But unfortunately, that dog just lay down there waiting for his death. He repeated the experiment with several dogs and got the same results. He called it learned helplessness. This is exactly what makes some women and men go to the streets to beg. We call them street families. People who can wash clothes and earn for their day. Because there was a guy who was driving by and gave them some 50 bob. Without realizing you're destroying that person. She is not a cripple. You're encouraging that behavior, learned helplessness. But you're thinking about street families. Could you be a victim of learned helplessness? You apply for a job once, twice, 10 times, and now you're convinced in Kenya you've got to know someone to get a job. Is it possible you apply for a visa, you wanted to travel overseas the first time, you were denied, the second time and the third time, and you threw in the towel? Is it possible you bid for a job, perhaps in the public sector or a parastatal or a corporate organization, you didn't go through, you tried the second time, a dozen times, now you're convinced corruption starts your way of success? Is it possible you even vied for a public office for one term and failed? The second time you did not go through, only your family voted for you. The third time you did not even vote for yourself. Is it possible you're listening to me here tonight and you're in sales and marketing? You knocked the first house. Maybe you're saying, maybe insurance, maybe multi-level marketing, maybe first products, maybe clothes, doesn't matter. But you knocked this first house and you're turned down, and the second one, and the third one, you didn't close the sale, and the 10th one, and you vowed never again. Is it possible you have gone for a date with someone and he didn't commit? A year later, you saw someone else who didn't commit. 2 years later, you saw yet a third party who did not commit. And now you've given up on marriage. Is it possible you're struggling with weight? And despite doing whatever you knew how, you didn't lose the weight. And now you find solace in blaming your generational genes. If any of the conditions I describes you and you identify with them, then tonight please understand you have acquired what I'm calling learned helplessness. You are never designed to be stranded by your circumstances. You are designed to be a creator of circumstances.